Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So, there's a bit of a race going on. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention to the last couple of videos. One of the things that really interests me the most within the current cryptocurrency space over the last couple of years is the level of accumulation that we've been seeing. If you haven't caught on, if you've missed a lot of videos, as I tend to upload daily, the accumulation is completely out of control right now. The metrics that we currently have are also a bit bonkers, if you will, simply because we normally do not see this type of activity that we're currently seeing within the cryptocurrency space until months after the actual halving has taken place. One of the most recent videos that I did revolves around the fact that a lot of the price movements, a lot of the accumulation, a lot of the everything, the movements of the market, we normally don't see this level until around nine months after the halving has taken place. When I say that there's a bit of a race going on, there's a company, we've spoken about them before, they're called MicroStrategy. The CEO is Michael Saylor. They both, the company and he, own a tremendous amount of Bitcoin. We heard about MicroStrategy a couple of days ago where they, oh gosh, what was it? They owned 180 something thousand Bitcoin. That moved up to 190,000 Bitcoin. That moved up to 193,000 Bitcoin. And then we had recently in the news that they had just completed another purchase of Bitcoin through their second or third time taking out debt against the company, which now has allotted them over 200,000 Bitcoin. The interesting part, as far as the race goes, is that they're now on par with BlackRock for an equal amount of Bitcoin holdings, or rather, BlackRock's like a smidge above them, but the news is reporting that they are just about around the exact same amount of Bitcoin holdings. I've had the prediction, this is so logical, for some time. For those of you who do not know, it took MicroStrategy 2 years to acquire over 200,000 Bitcoin. And it has taken BlackRock 2 months and a week to do the exact same thing. So we can only all logically assume that BlackRock is going to completely outpace them. But the news is that MicroStrategy has managed to catch up to, or is just about where, the largest asset manager on the planet currently is right now. Yeah, so that's part one of the actual accumulation news and everything that's going on. And I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes I sit here and I try not to rant because I can only hope at this point that you actually understand what I'm saying in all of my videos, because what we're going through now, and there isn't a normal for Bitcoin. Let's put that on the table as well. This market is brand new. We're all very early. There should not be any type of confusion as to where we currently are in the market and things that are going to happen, especially as we get closer to the halving, because at the time of me making this video, we are still not at the halving. But it's also just the amount of metrics that we're currently getting. A lot of the time, with an S, I think people just focus on price or just focus on immediately what they're hearing in the news. And this is why part of the reason why I think doing daily news is so important, because I think it hyper reinforces it for everyone who's actually out there, as opposed to you getting one bit of news and then kind of stumbling around and not really understanding what's taking place every single day. Understand that this is daily news. This is happening all the time. I was just messaging a bunch of my friends, hello, if you're watching, where I was actually asking them, I was like, do you have crypto? And luckily, they all said yes. That's why I said hello, because you can't get news like this every single day and just kind of be blasé about it and go, well, the prices aren't moving where I want them to move. That's not how the world works, especially in the cryptocurrency market. If you've paid attention to any time over the course of, if you've been here for years, you know it. If you've been here over the course of the last 2 months or so, anytime that you see a dip in the market, especially a rough dip where it's shaking people out, the point of those dips, this is completely honest, hear me out here, is to get normal people / poor people out of the market. This is how all markets work. For some reason, rich people have a really weird thing where they don't want normal people to be in the markets. The idea is you move the money from the weak hands into the strong hands, because weak hands make for a weak market. So every single time that you see that there is a dip, and I've seen people posting online that they're selling, I heard other people were selling and yada, yada, yada. Those coins just move into the hands of companies like MicroStrategy and like BlackRock and Fidelity, who know that they're going to be able to shake you out rather easily because you don't know the market conditions and you aren't looking the long term for this market. And also, this is what they do. They want all the assets for themselves. There's another bit of information which I also think that everyone needs to keep in mind, simply because we are getting ready for something even though we're already in it, if that makes any sense. The movements that we've seen within the cryptocurrency Bitcoin price market over the course of the last couple of months are unprecedented but expected. You cannot have news that a company is now holding over 200,000 Bitcoin. Another company has over 200,000 Bitcoin since a couple of, let's be honest, it's been weeks. I know it's been 2 months, but 8-9 weeks also sounds completely insane to accumulate over 200,000 Bitcoin. So there's a crypto analyst. They go by the name of Ali Martinez, and they were talking about the actual time frame of the halvings and prices moving up. That is to say, I've seen a lot of people online talking about they don't understand. How do I say this in like a very simple way? A lot of people are conflicted on exactly how long this bull run is going to last and what that means for them making money, when they should maybe pull out, how long other bull runs have actually been. And there's a huge amount of discussion as far as these numbers. And within the cryptocurrency space, all we have is time and patterns. Market hasn't been around for that long, and this is why this information is actually quite interesting. So Ali Martinez actually looked through a number of, or rather every other bull run, to kind of see exactly how long that they lasted for. And every single time, they went a little smidge above where they were before because there's constantly extra people within the actual market. He found that in 2012, after the Bitcoin halving, it took 367 days for the bull market to go and to end, if you will. It went over a year. 367 days was as long as the bull market was back in 2012. A lot more people got into the market, and in 2016's halving, the bull market lasted for 526 days. So a subsequent amount more than the 367 that we heard from before. And the one in 2020, it took 547 days for Bitcoin to reach its peak. That one still is a bit of an anomaly, and people think that it should have lasted longer. But I'm sure you all remember what was going on in 2020 and 2021 and the fear that gripped every single market. So this leads us to the discussion of how long is this bull run going to last. This is why a lot of times, if you've heard me say how long we have from the halving to the actual end of the cycle, if you will. And we normally say it takes around 18 months from the halving for Bitcoin to kind of reach its peak. But we're also in the situation now where we're seeing an unprecedented amount of movement that we normally wouldn't see until around 9 months into the actual market. And there are a lot of people who think that this could be the end of all cycles, and that people don't think that there will be significant dips, and or if there are dips in the price, that they won't be very long-lived, if you will, because it's no longer a situation where the market dips, prices go down, and people sell off their coins, because we now know that every time that there has been a sell-off in the last couple of months, those coins have been purchased immediately by the ETF issuers. For those of you who missed that video like a week ago or something like that, I don't remember the exact time frame. There was a situation where before this like current dip that we just had, the one before that, we had news that I think the dip took like 2 or 3 days as far as prices going down. And we heard that during the dip, BlackRock actually purchased 12,600 Bitcoin. I think that's what it was. So they basically are waiting for people to sell, to get scared, and then they scoop all those coins up. This is going to be one of the craziest halvings that we've ever had, because we're actually not even there yet. And I'm Personally, very excited to see exactly where this goes. We had a video a couple of days ago as well that was showing the Bitcoin price movements 3 months after the halving, 6 months, and then 9 months after the halving. And I think that the ranges were between 31% up and I think like 88% up over the course of a 6 month period. And 9 months is normally when we hit the previous all-time high, which we have already done. So yeah, it looks like a lot of people are expecting this bull run to last just over 500 days. That is if we actually have the same patterns as before. But if we are over cycles and they don't really matter anymore, then we are going to experience something that's kind of just never going to end. And also, these companies who are very heavy-handed with money are buying up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, not only in anticipation of the halving, but also of the illustrious one-day $1 million Bitcoin. Crazy time to be in the market. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.